Hey guys, welcome to Y&R Daily Update YouTube channel. Today's topics. Special standalone Young and the Restless episode to focus on Michael and Lauren. A night Genoa City will never forget. There are episodes that move the story forward, episodes that shock, and then there are episodes that pause the entire canvas of a soap opera to breathe life into characters who deserve a spotlight of their own. December sweeps bring one of those rare treasures, a special standalone episode centered entirely on Michael Baldwin and Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, a couple whose history spans trauma, redemption, courage, passion, humor, and one of the greatest survival arcs in the history of the Young and the Restless. This is not an ensemble episode. This is not a multiplot hour with scattered threads. This is a love letter to two characters who have earned the right to take over the screen for a day. The stage is theirs alone. The premise of the episode, the standalone episode, opens on an unusual note. Silence, no bustling Newman Enterprises, chaos, no Abbott family emergency, no Crimson Lights chit-chat, no Sheila Carter shadow lurking, not yet. Instead, the camera pans slowly into the Baldwin Fenmore penthouse, where the lights are low and the world outside is muted by sweeping snowfall. Lauren sits alone, fingers brushing an old scrapbook she found in the back of the closet. Every page is a chapter of her history, glamorous spreads from Fenmore's catalogs, torn pages from tabloid articles, love notes from Michael, letters from her mother Jill, clippings of her rivalry with Sheila, and relics of the life she built with her husband. Tonight feels different. Tonight feels reflective. Tonight feels like something unfinished has returned to the surface. Michael arrives home, exhausted from a long day at the DA's office, expecting a quiet night. Instead, he finds Lauren staring at the scrapbook like it's a portal to the past. "What are you thinking?" he asks gently. She doesn't answer at first. She simply whispers, "Everything." And with that single word, the episode shifts into a sweeping emotional retrospective, not through flashbacks from the show's archives, but through emotionally charged reenactments, dreamlike sequences, and monologues that speak to the soul of their shared history. This is their story, told their way, in their hour. The past they survived, a marriage forged through fire. The next portion of the episode takes viewers through the kinds of raw, emotional beats that longtime fans have been craving. For years, the acknowledgement of every storm that shaped Michael and Lauren into the couple they are today. Michael Baldwin, the man who chose redemption before he was the sharpest legal mind in Genoa City. Before he was one half of a legendary pairing, Michael Baldwin was a man lost inside his own darkness. The special episode does not shy away from his past. It revisits the man he used to be, manipulative, destructive, unhinged, a predator of situations and emotions he tried to control. The dream sequence format allows the writers to go deeper than flashbacks ever could. Michael confronts the version of himself he once feared he'd always remain, the man who harassed Christine, who tried to sabotage his own chance at happiness, who built walls out of arrogance because he was terrified someone would see the scared child he had been. In this episode, he sees the old Michael standing in the shadows of the penthouse, smirking with hateful familiarity. "You can't escape me," the apparition taunts. "No matter how many years pass, I'm still here, waiting." Michael doesn't fight back with fear. He fights back with truth. "You were my beginning," he says, "but you're not my end." And then, for the first time, the shadow disappears. This moment sets the emotional tone of the hour. Michael's life is not defined by the man he used to be. It is defined by the man he became because one woman chose to believe in him. Lauren Fenn, a survivor with a smile. Lauren's past is equally layered, glamorous on the outside, steel on the inside. The episode dives into her trauma with a tenderness rarely given in daytime. It is not a rehash of Sheila Carter's long-running torment, though her presence lingers like a ghost across Lauren's memories. Instead, the focus is on Lauren's internal strength, surviving kidnapping, confront identity theft, or building her life after every man, from victim to warrior, discovering the power that came from her own resilience. In the episode's second dream sequence, Lauren wanders through a replica of her old Fenmore's dressing room, the mirror cracked into shifting fragments. Each fragment shows a different version of her, the ingenue of the 80s, the stylish 90s heroine, the business mogul, the mother, the fighter, the woman who has outlasted every villain ever thrown her way. She stares at the reflections until they begin speaking in unison. "You survived everything, so why are you afraid now?" Lauren whispers back. "Because fear doesn't disappear, you just learn to walk with it." It is a line destined to live in the memory of every viewer. The heart of the episode, a marriage that chose itself over and over. The center section of the standalone episode is a deeply romantic, emotionally intimate exploration of Michael and Lauren's love story, highlighting every moment that made them an iconic pairing. How they fell in love for real, not the flirty banter. Not the legal tension, not the opposite side chemistry. This is about the moment they chose each other. Lauren tells Michael, in a poetic monologue, "You weren't the man I expected to fall in love with. You were the man I couldn't stop loving, even when I tried. Every time I ran, you found me in a way that didn't trap me, it grounded me." Michael responds, "And every time I thought I'd fall apart, you gave me a place to land. You changed the ending I thought I was destined for." Their dialogue is soft, heartfelt, and painfully honest. The camera lingers on their intertwined hands, the way they look at each other with a tenderness reserved for relationships with decades of history. How they nearly fell apart. Show revisits the most vulnerable moments of their marriage, Fenn's addiction struggles, Michael's cancer diagnosis, emotional withdrawal, loneliness, Gorman's seductive guilt that crushed them both afterward. But the episode reframes these not as failures, but as proof of endurance. Lauren confesses, "There were times I thought we were done, but even when you were silent, even when you shut me out, I knew I hadn't lost you. I just needed to wait until you found your way back." Michael answers, "And you did. You waited, you screamed, you fought, you stayed. You loved me louder than the fear that tried to break us." This part of the episode is raw, beautifully written, and reminiscent of classic soap emotional arcs that put character over plot. A love that still burns. One of the strengths of Michael and Lauren's pairing is that their chemistry has never dulled. The standalone episode embraces this, showcasing soft laughter, lingering touches, old inside jokes, and a passion that has matured but never faded. In a quiet moment, Lauren admits, "Sometimes I forget we're still allowed to be in love, not just married in love. After everything, I still look at you the way I did the first time you kissed me." Michael smiles, "And I still kiss you like I can't believe you said yes." The turning point, the secret Lauren has been hiding. Halfway through the special episode, the emotional tone shifts. The scrapbook wasn't nostalgia, it wasn't sentimentality, it wasn't aimless wandering through the past. Lauren found something she wasn't meant to find, something she has been hiding from Michael for days. She finally reveals it, a letter. A letter she received anonymously. A letter with only one sentence, "You can't escape the past." It is signed with a red lipstick print. The room falls. Still, Michael's face changes. The ominous weight of Sheila Carter hangs in the background like a storm cloud ready to burst. But the episode does something brilliantly unexpected. Michael asks, "Do you think it's her?" Lauren pauses, looks him directly in the eyes, and says, "I don't know." This single line electrifies the hour, because it reopens a long-closed chapter, not with confirmation, but with fear. Fear that the past Lauren and Michael worked so hard to move beyond, maybe circling back. Fear that their peace was only temporary. Fear that the trauma they survived is returning in a new form. The writers keep the uncertainty alive. No confirmation of Sheila, no cameo, no definitive source of the letter. The point is not whether Sheila is back. The point is what this letter triggers in Michael and Lauren. Because this episode is about them. Not the villain. Not the stalker. Not the terror. It's about how they choose to face the unknown together. The climax, a night of truth, fear, and fierce devotion. The climax of the standalone episode becomes an emotional battlefield, not against an external enemy, but against fear itself. Lauren's fear is losing the life she built. Michael's fear is failing to protect the woman who saved him. Their shared fear is that something could shatter their peace again. Michael's breakdown and breakthrough when Lauren falls asleep on the couch, exhausted from emotion. Michael steps into the kitchen and finally lets himself break. He grips the counter with trembling hands as panic overtakes him. If it's Sheila, if she's back, if she finds Lauren again, if I lose her, I can't do it. I can't survive it again. This is one of the most powerful Michael Baldwin scenes the series could ever deliver. A man known for composure reduced to a human being, terrified of history repeating itself. He collapses into a chair. His voice shakes. He whispers, "Please, not again." But then something remarkable happens. He makes a choice.